Our Wendy's high school male athlete of the week is one of those high school players, not just in Topeka, but in the state of Kansas. His name is Alex Sherer. This past week at the 10-team Topeka West Invitational, he came away as a champion with a perfect 6-0 record. We haven't mentioned Alex's school yet. He is competing for the Hayden Wild regular season, but he is actually student at Rossville. It's one of the most unique setups for a tennis player in the state. Alex, let's start right there. It is such a unique setup, and there aren't many high school athletes in the city who are commuting every day to get to practice. What has it been like for you this year to go to school at Rossville and then play tennis somewhere in the city limits?
Yeah, I mean, Topeka's familiar with me. Traveling every day to play there isn't something uncommon for me, but Hayden High School's a new one, and I've definitely enjoyed it. Hayden guys are great, so they definitely make it a lot easier, and they definitely make me want to continue to come back every day for sure. So it's been a lot of fun.
What has it been like for you now as a senior to be playing your first year of K-Ship tennis? You haven't been able to play it because of what Rossville situation is with boys tennis. You get this worked out this year. What is it like to be a high school tennis rookie, but to be in your senior year?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. There's a lot of new things. Because obviously I played tennis for a while, and I've played a lot of big matches, played against a lot of good players, but playing matches that now have postseason implications, and there's more than just me out there. So it's definitely interesting, and it's definitely brought on a few nervous feelings I haven't felt before in some matches. But it's a lot of fun, I think. To be out there for more than just myself, and it makes things really interesting and a lot of fun for sure.
We're talking to Alex Sherer, a senior at Hayden as well as at Rossville. He is our Wendy's High School Male Athlete of the Week. What was it like this offseason trying to work this out with both schools and with Keisha to get this approved for you to do? Can you kind of take us through that process of what it was like setting up a situation for you this year?
Yeah, so actually, in the summer right before my junior year, which would have been the summer of 2020 or 29. Sorry, it's been a long couple of years, but we actually got the call from our AD, and he said, "Hey, we want to get this done. Let's get it done." And it worked out great because my sister was just about to enter high school, so we got it set up for her as well. And we went through a couple lists of the schools, but Hayden ended up being a good fit because it was closest in distance from Rossville, but also Rossville liked the fact that Hayden had done other co-ops before with other schools for other sports. So we ran through it, we got everything signed, got everything set up, and it worked out really well. And yeah, I mean it's been awesome. So I think that it went really smoothly, and couldn't be more thankful for it.
You mentioned that this was something that was kind of put into motion a while back, and obviously you weren't playing in high school competition last year, but still the COVID-19 pandemic and the onset of it, competition in all different areas. How has that kind of affected, what your trajectory has been, your start at Hayden? Can you kind of take us through how your season, both club and high school and all of that, was impacted by COVID?
Oh man, I mean, it was rough. I mean, you go from playing 6-7 days a week, all the time really, to not even being able to leave your house for a while, getting out maybe once a week and hitting against like the wall outside your house. So it was rough, I think, at first, especially in the midst of the lockdowns. But once I got back out, I was right back on the court 6-7 days a week and just working really hard and playing a lot because it's what I enjoy. But also, there's a lot to prepare for and a lot to be ready for, especially in a season where there's a lot of question marks.
Senior tennis standout Alex Sherer is our guest, our Wendy's High School Male Athlete of the Week, representing the Hayden Wildcats during the regular season. Will represent his home school, Rossville, coming up in the postseason. We'll get to that in a moment specifically, but I have to ask you about your performance this year as well. Alex mentioned that you're coming off of a perfect 6 run at the Topeka West Invitational this past week. We said earlier, the best players in the city without having played in high school before. What have you felt about your performance so far here in your senior season?
Yeah, I mean, playing a lot of guys who tend to only play high school tennis. I get a little lucky because I play year round, but playing a lot of guys who who aren't used to maybe seeing my type of style. So I think I get away with a lot of things because I play a little differently than most. But it's been a good start, just trying to play my game, be in control of points, just be in control of matches so I can go out and play the way I want to. But, it's been a good start, and I've really enjoyed it so far. So it's really all I can ask for.
What were some of your goals headed into this season? Did you have postseason aspirations? Was it certain personal milestones? What were some of those goals for you?
To be honest, I mean, that state title is always within reach, but starting little goals as well, trying to be the best teammate I can for the Hayden guys, try and spread my knowledge of tennis as much as I can to them, help make them better as a team, get ready for their postseason. Win as many matches as I can, obviously, play as much as I can just because of, this is my own one and only shot. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously the state title, overall goal, but, trying to go win regionals, get a seat at state. We just win, I mean, that's what it comes down to. Is you got to go out and compete against some of the best players. Some players you're better than, some players you're worse than, but you got to go out and try and win no matter what. So
when you look beyond this season and this postseason for Hayden, for Rossville, what kind of role does tennis play in your future? Do you hope to play at the collegiate level? Do you have other plans outside of tennis? What are you looking for following your senior season?
I mean, I just recently committed to play at Kansas Wesleyan, so I'm super excited for that. Tennis is always, and even if it hadn't worked out like that, tennis is always something I've really enjoyed. Whether it be teaching tennis over in Topeka a little bit or just playing for fun. Always really enjoyed it, but getting to play at Wesleyan next year is something super exciting. I think, I love what we're doing up there, and I think we're getting ready for a super special season next year. But just trying to keep my head in the moment now for sure, because this is something that I only have one shot at. So trying to enjoy it, make the most of it is definitely something I'm really focused on right now.
Well, right now he's representing the Wildcats in the postseason. He'll represent the Bulldogs, and then coming up starting next year, he'll be representing the Yotes as well. Alex Sherer, he is our high school athlete of the week, brought to you by Wendy's. A phenomenal season so far, coming off of a 6-0 effort at the West Invitational this past week. Alex, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for sharing your very unique story of getting to this season, and best of luck coming up the rest of this year and into your collegiate playing future.
Thank you, Brendan.